today, welcome back. I just sort of keep posting some of the upcoming homework assignments for you because if people are already done with their homework, I don't want to hold you back, so you have something to look forward to, and especially that we have a lot of people who actually take the class online. So I welcome everyone. And today we're going to address some of the issues brought up by assignment 3. In particular, this homework assignment is asking us to enter a street number, a street name, and the number of rooms. So I would assume that the street number may be, I don't know, maybe an integer. The street name will be possibly a line of text because it can have spaces. If we're using the scanner, most likely we should be expecting that. The number of rooms in the house. Well, this is sort of like a helper variable to obviously an integer, I would think, that helps to organize the rest of the program, because the rest of the program is going to be asking for the types of rooms present in the house. So to demonstrate the way you could, there's obviously multiple ways to implement this, but I'm going to just demonstrate a few possibilities, I guess. Let me just go and create a new project, and I will name my project Homework 3 Demo. Okay. And the location of my project is going to be on my drive. And I have my NetBeans projects. And that's where I am going to store my project. So I can tell NetBeans I really like copying and pasting those paths, especially on computers that I'm not familiar with, like the one in class. I don't know what this computer is doing. I'm just using it. So, and my habit is, of course, to change the name of the main class to something that just says main app, or whatever the purpose of the main class in my application is. So main app, in my situation here, just hosting the main method, the public entry point into my program. So finish that. Of course, we have source code requirements that basically ask us to, right here at the top of the program, print your name, the name of the assignment, the purpose of the program, all this useful information. Then I'm going to just keep this short so that we can write some demo code in this window. So my habit is to mark the ending of my class, and oftentimes also the endings of even methods. But again, this is your choice. So save that. And of course, I need the scanner, right? So the scanner sc equals new scanner. New scanner system.in. This is what we constructed with. Then, of course, I am going to use this trick. So now it's going to be visible that if I say fix imports, which I know I need to fix because I have no imports, but I'm trying to use the scanner class that gives me choices. Java util.scanner is the one that we want, and this import statement is inserted for us by the environment. Kind of lazy programmer feature, but it makes sense. I think that's a neat feature. Actually, when you program with a lot of objects, and it just going back to your set of import directives, sometimes people just begin to import everything because they're expecting to work with so many different things. But if you just do it on demand, like I did with Scanner, it keeps the list of import directives small and neat, which makes sense. All right. So then I'm going to have this int number of rooms. right? Something like that, and I'm going to ask the scanner to provide me with the next int. I mean, I'm jumping right in the middle into this homework assignment so that I'm already asking for the number of rooms. And for that, perhaps I could print system.out. So this is a really abbreviated version of what we're doing in this assignment. So print enter number of rooms, please, and get that number. Since we haven't covered arrays or any other types of collections just yet in this class, I need to keep a different room types in this program without using any fancy collections. So I will just name them room 1, room 2, and I guess I can just copy and paste room 3 and room 4 and room 5. Last week we discussed actually a possibly a useful validation loop which will keep user, prompting the user for the number of rooms and checking that it doesn't exceed the boundary. And you can tell them between 1 and 5. 5 is the maximum, 1 is the minimum. I don't know. If it's one room, it must be some sort of a shed, not the real house. But anyway, so that you should have probably in your program. So go back to the previous lecture, review it, and you can implement that. I'm not going to spend time today. But if I have room 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I can be asking the user for, basically saying sc next. As you know, next gives you a chunk of text that is available from the user input. So I may be using this. But then, of course, I need to specify what these things are. Of course, they will be strings, right? String, like chunk of text. So sometimes I plan my work by typing variable names and then go back to say, oh, those are going to be strings, not integers or not doubles and so forth. So the challenge now is to say, how do I make this manageable so that if they say I want to enter 3 rooms, I don't want to be asking them to enter 5 rooms? Well, the simplest solution to this might be to actually use perhaps an if statement to say if, for example, perhaps I will start right here. If a number of rooms that they gave me already is greater than 4, then go ahead and ask for the 5th room. Okay. Unfortunately, this will be not the exactly right approach because when I say string room 5 inside a set of curly braces that belong to the if statement, this creates a block statement with its own local scope of variables. And so room 5 is not going to be very useful because it's going to disappear as soon as this brace closes. So then my thinking becomes that maybe I need to declare my rooms before I begin to use them. So perhaps right here in the set of these declarations, I will just initialize my strings to be empty strings and not saying scanner next. Just make them all empty to begin with. So now, if the number of rooms is greater than 4, then get room 5, because they want 5 rooms. At the same time, If the number of rooms is greater than 3, then perhaps I should also ask them for a room 4. If, and then of course this if statement needs to have a closing brace, and perhaps this should have an else if arrangement, so that, if I actually no, this is not a mutually exclusive logic, so I just need to be asking for these rooms anyway. I would simply copy and paste a few times and say, okay, if the number of rooms is greater than 0, then room 1, give me room 1. If greater than 1, give me room 2. If greater than 2, then give me room 3. And I already have room 3 and 4. So then perhaps it would be helpful to provide prompts to the user so that they know what their I can say type of room 1 perhaps, and then type of room 2, and then type of room 3, and then type of room 4 and 5. Okay, so I have a lot of things in place now. I am going to save this, and I'm also going to save my recording, and then we'll test it.